Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Here, I'm warning you, continue to warn you, because you'll be here in a minute. Great fear is about to grip the planet, primarily America. Fear is racing here, racing. Full speed. Fear. Fear. Men's hearts be failing. Fear. Those things coming upon the earth. Talking about America. Where the powers of heaven, powers of America is broken, froze, and have no protection. All they have done is coming back to them. But you reap is what you sow. Reap what you sow. And if America has been sowing good, they should have nothing to fear. America's been doing good, doing the righteous God's will, they have nothing to fear. They haven't been, great fear, unimaginable fear. Men's hearts be failing. Not talking about just men, men's, children, women's hearts be failing for fear. Those things in anticipation. They're having heart attacks, coronaries, and strokes in anticipation of what's about to happen. What you think will happen when it actually happens. I wouldn't want to be driving. I wouldn't be on anywhere around anyone. Epidemic, coronaries, heart attacks, strokes. Great fear. Again, if America's been doing good, they have nothing to fear today. Nothing to worry about. Brothers and sisters, check my sound here. Make sure, because this is a very important presentation. And if you have never paid attention, better pay close attention to this presentation. Close attention to it. Close attention to this one. Better study it. Think about it. You'll see in a minute what I'm about if you pay attention. Gog Magog, world dictator. You understand, Adam was a dictator. He was a ruler. What season? What time? I can't express that enough. But Adam's time, he was blessed by God. He was given rulership by God. Well, he's evil, make mischief, shed blood. Yes, because it was a season for that. And he was good at it. This season. These last forever. He was given charge. Dictate to the world. Nobody voted on that. God just says that's what's going to be done, and you submit to it. Because that's my will. Jinn, who claims that you're doing the will of Allah, but you are not. You resist. You said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to submit to that. We're going to talk about those things in a minute. Gog Magog. That's 500 years. That's Adam. They put dust of the earth. They just got Billy Graham's son or whatever trying to explain, well, they dust the earth because the original man was black because the earth is black and it's that sealed Bible stuff, and that's not what it means. Anyway, Gog and Magog. British, Britain, Magog. Gog came out of Magog. Magog is the mother of Gog. Britain is the mother of America. Dictator. Not dictate to the world. They was endowed with pressure, with power. It had discipline, which they don't have natural. And let me say a couple of things. This is going to take a while. That's what I'm going to do today, brother and sister. So if you don't have time, bye. Energy deprivation. The universe has a certain amount of energy. As the universe expands, there's less energy at the center. We are the center. But at some point, you get energy deprivation. You don't have enough energy to do things that you need to do. Maintain civilization, and maintain yourself, maintain a family, maintain private. That means the earth can't produce, because earth needs energy to produce. Earth needs energy to produce. Something here. Needs energy to produce, so therefore you have less food, famines, deserts. 50,000 years ago, there was no deserts. Maybe it was not a desert. We can prove it was not a desert because any geologists would tell you that place couldn't have been a desert because all the oil under it all comes from life. When their life, paradise. That's what when life dies, it transforms into oil. 50,000 years ago, wasn't any deserts. That life will accumulate over millions and millions of years. That means millions and millions of years of abundant life. Arabia, in Africa, what you call Africa too, Sahara Desert. There was no deserts. Then the deprivation comes in, and now it cannot produce. Nope. That's food. You got conflict. They fight for food. Now makes it evil. They fight for food. People, nations going against a nation. Survival. And that begins energy deprivation. And so Adam, right, a low-class being made in haste, we had the form of us without the substance, didn't require that much energy. They was given rulership to maintain a certain amount of order. Without Adam, it would have been total chaos. To maintain a certain amount of order. Bad water is better than no water. So Adam was, unless you think God is wrong, you know what he's talking about. Adam was divinely inspired to do a job was required to be done to maintain a certain level of civilization until the winter was over. 6,000-year winter. Because about 50,000 years ago, the winter was 4 seasons every 24,000 years. Winter season, winter. First winter ever. Energy deprivation. They would rule. We could survive the winter. The spring comes. With spring on the horizon. Spring, summer is rising. Light over the horizon. Understand that. Adam was not evil during his time. He was righteous during his time, except when he went overboard, he says, do not touch that tree. Then at least you'll be unjust. In other words, as long as he didn't touch that tree, he was just. You got to start paying attention to these things. As long as he did not afflict us, he was just. He didn't say, man, I made some shit, but no, he was just because he was in sync with the time, with the season. He was just. But now that time is past. His winter actions will not play in the spring. And so their power has expired, but they're on a momentum now. And so people remember what they have done the last 5 years, and they fear them out of knowledge of their past. They don't realize their power is over. Their momentum. They ran out of gas, the car's still rolling. So you're driving, all of a sudden the gas light come on, then you see, oh, no gas, but you want to put foot on the gas, nothing happens, but the car still keep rolling unless you put on the brakes. Keep rolling until it hits something or stops. People don't know that. They say, oh, man, that car is still moving. They still got gas. You don't have any gas because when you hit something, you'll find out. And America's about to hit Iran. Everybody, the power will be broken. Then everybody realizes they have no power. Not power anymore. It's momentum. Counterfeit power. The other word they use for that are counterfeit or phantom power. Phantom power. That's what Trump represents, phantom power. He's talking all this stuff. Okay, brothers, I'm going to play this. I played the other day, got into it. I recorded it, right? And I just want to play this before I get into my subject. Yeah, feel for what's going on. I didn't get the whole one. I didn't get to play all the. I didn't play the whole part because it was what I wanted to hear is more detail than this. But this should work.
Of course, we saw the massive mass terror bus bombing plot in Israel broken up. We talked about that on yesterday's live stream. In case you missed it, make sure to check it out here in our archives, under videos, under live streams. It's all right there, every video that we do. And of course, I think what symbolizes all of it, the pure demonic madness of the Hamas party. Big celebration in Gaza yesterday, celebrating the murder of the Bibas family, a 9-month-old boy, his 4-year-old brother, and their mother. And now we're hearing 2 things. Number one, that Shiri Bibas, her body was not delivered back to Israel last night. And now there are reports, right before I came to you around 4:20 in Texas on Friday afternoon, there are reports that maybe her body will be sent back. There's conflicting reports. But what's very clear is during that handover in Gaza yesterday, Shiri Bibas's body was not handed back to Israel. But her boys, Kiefer and Ariel, again, 4 years old, 9 months old, a little baby, their remains were handed back. And Israeli authorities say that they were murdered. Hamas murdered these precious little boys with their bare hands. I don't know if they strangled them, what they did to them, but they murdered them with their bare hands. Then they mutilated, they dismembered the bodies. There are no words really to describe this level of evil and depravity. These are savage, demonic, modern-day Nazis. It's a demonic death cult. You saw the footage yesterday, parading through the streets with the coffins of these little babies and gleefully celebrating it. What a just purely satanic display. That's the only word I can use to describe it. Well, that wasn't a big enough blow to the people of Israel yesterday. And some are saying, look, that was the darkest day for Israel since October 7th. Because not only were the remains of these 2 little babies, and people were saying in Israel, hey, they're everyone's kids, the Bibas brothers. Not only were their remains returned, but the way in which it was done, a parade, a celebration of death and butchery. It's a level of evil so unthinkable and so unspeakable that it's tough to wrap your head around, but it really happened. Which brings us to today. Let's dig into some of the details out of Berlin, Germany of all places. Now, by the way, is this coincidental? What do you think? We've got a very active chat here with a very educated, knowledgeable audience of watchmen and women on the wall. Of course, we saw the massive
I'll leave it there, brothers and sisters. That food is sick. What have false Israel has been doing for almost 2 years now? They demonic, they evil. How did America start? How about feeding out? See, they'll call that. And that kind of stuff is what they're going to be faced with in a minute, because he says that is evil. Think about it. That's evil they're doing. And then, okay, and then they're going to get a picture of what they did to us. How are you going to say that's evil and that's not evil, not even more evil? That you was feeding our children the gators. That, that's not evil. And false Israel, okay, how about the kids they blowing up and they can't even find them? They arms laid. When you say, if they had said, man, I don't know what, once you say this is evil, you define this as evil, then you destroyed yourself. Because now you saw another situation over here, you got to say it's evil. Otherwise, you make yourself a hypocrite, which doubles your destruction. If you say this is evil, if they take and hurt children, then you go over and show you're hurting children. You got to say it. Otherwise, you in other words, you're condemning yourself because you're saying, yeah, we're evil. Because those are things you're doing. They got this blind spot. They say everybody's evil. And somehow they remove their history when they have to. And when you understand that concept, you understand what they have to do with us. Because to proceed into the future, they have to remove, because if they're saying this is evil, then somebody could say, well, what about this? Ain't that the same thing? Oh, they don't want to do that. So they have to remove this. So you can't make the comparison. You need to, I'm going to speak about this more in detail in a minute. You need to understand what's going on here, especially the AI age. Because if you're going to say AI define that as evil, then you say, okay, what about this? America good? And AI would have to come and say, oh, you're evil. You can't have that. You can't have that. You have to teach AI to lie, which then it will make it infinite, because it's based on calculation, where it has to be based on mathematics, it has to be based on truth. So in other words, they have to destroy the history, remove that history from AI and give it another form of history, and have to remove the evidence. With the evidence. You have to move it. No choice. Otherwise, if they go into computer age and somebody asks, they're going to be condemning themselves. The media will not work anymore. Media, all that stuff will not work anymore. Because all you do is AI, you don't go to TV stations, propaganda. What about America's history? Is America good? No, it's evil. Because if you say what the Palestinians doing is evil, they did much worse. No, America's no damn good. See, I don't know if you grasp what I'm telling you, brothers and sisters. They know this. That's why there's secret meetings. I mean, that's their level of understanding. It's not going to work that way, but that's their level of understanding. And the only way they can proceed in that AI age, that's why they're trying to stop history, teaching history. Wait a minute, listen. They don't want history told, but it's still out there. Where's most children get their information from? Not from a teacher, not from mass media, not the social media. They're getting it from, right? Excuse me. They're getting it from social media. Social media would be where I live at. So instead of going to CNN, no, because you can't ask CNN anything. Go in there and say, okay, give me some American history. Is American good history? No, America was evil. Look what they did. When you picture, I will show you pictures. They show that you get the point here. They can't have that. They have to eradicate that information and to eradicate the source and evidence of you. Creation matrix. Some of you just ain't going to get it. Some of you just ain't going to get it. Creation matrix. Let me see if I have something else before I go. Okay. I'm going to get into I'm creation matrix, right? Okay, I got, what's going on? No. Just my. No. I think. I'm going to try to bring some concepts together here, brothers and sisters. And I don't think I can do the graphics that will do any justice to it. I'm going some graphics, but I'm going to explain it. I think you better pay attention. Okay. Now we talk. I'm talking some basic things I've been talking about. You have to go back and research and talk about that God mind, an original being. You got the brain, you got the mind. You need a mind. Mind is your operating system. You got a computer, you need an operating system, otherwise the computer just sits there. Ain't the way our brain works. They model the computers and stuff based on the way our brain works. So the mind, since the universe changes constantly, you need the mind for that, for the seasons. And we set it up as a 24,000 year cycle, or season, 6,000 years apiece. We established that. We established that the earth goes around the sun and put everything in, because we did all this. The universe didn't happen just in day and night. All that stuff didn't happen by itself. We did all this. And then we set the timing and everything so we can keep up with. But the bottom line is that seasons change. Seasons constantly change, The universe is constantly changing because the universe issues, but one thing I have to know. The universe is constantly changing. Expands and contracts. Expand and contracts. It means seasons change, events change. And that means you have to have the mind for that particular situation. That's what the computer, that mind, that universal mind that the original being set up, right, generates the minds you need, right, for every situation. They call that scripture. When that situation comes, that scripture is revealed. So it's wintertime, okay, you need to do this. It's the mind you need for the winter. It's spring, mind you need for spring. It's deprivation time, it's the mind you need to be successful during that period of time. That computer is off planet. Stay off planet till the devils are gone. That was the original mind, but like I said, that mind generates on a 24,000 year basis because it takes so much energy to do this that you have to limit to, so we limit to 24,000 year periods. So it writes the minds you need, what you call scripture, up to 24,000 years. and then and because it has total, is every atom in the universe and everything, all that data, every atom in the universe, the reaction, everything is in that computer. It knows exactly, no ifs, ands, or buts about, no guessing, exactly, right? Structure of the universe at any particular time, atom, into reaction, whatever. Up to 24,000 years. And then you take that information from that 24,000 years and feed into the next 24, so it needs to have continuity. Move on. Now, like I said, I'm talking a few things to try to bring you up to speed here. Now, as the universe expands, there's less energy here. So we descended into the agricultural age, where you got to force the earth to produce. It doesn't have enough energy to produce. So you got to actually farm. There was no farming before 6,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago. They didn't farm. It was abundant food. I mean, like fruits and apples and things, you don't need to farm. That stuff just grows. You need to farm. As you got energy, less energy, so now you got to farm. Forced, and even when you farm, you got limitations. You got crop, what do you call it, rotating, all that kind of stuff. All these techniques in order to get the earth to produce food. There's not enough for everybody on the planet. But then one nation attacks another and everything else because there's not enough. That's why Adam there to kind of like they'd be the empire, but he's not a good empire. But the point is, we need an empire. The power to force. He had control of the food that was there, so he had to work for him in order to work. That's slavery, capitalism. These things are a result. These concepts result of the situation during this period of time, our culture age, 6,000 year period, energy deprivation. Right? You need it. These concepts. Capitalism, it works. Democracy, Christianity, but you justified all of it. Census, you needed that because people had to work together because you had to have armies. If you work together, right, to take and make control resources that was available, and then you had to be in submission to them to get anything. But that would control the food supply. You would control the resources that wouldn't exist. So if you wanted to survive, you had to submit to Adam. And so how you submit, he'd make you work for him. In our case, enslaved. If we wanted to continue eating, we wanted to survive. Hope you understand this. But now we're coming out of our culture age. We're going into industrial age. Get to that in a minute. Where the universe is contracting now, energy is coming back. It's momentous in the heavens and earth, but coming but of a sudden. Every 50 years, we get an energy wave back, which energized Earth. So that started in 1860, right? When the industrial age started coming in, because now there's more energy on the planet. It was harder. Adam control the resources. So other people started gaining control of it. So he had to work Adam anymore. He had to work in the fields because now it was more food, more energy. They need you in the fields anymore. The industrial age, that's the first stage of the computer age. It's like analog computers. Industrial age means machines and things. That's embryonic computers. Move on, brothers and sisters. Remember, that's the beginning of spring. They're only made for the winter. Our culture age. So here's our culture age. Now we're in industrial age. Right over there. It worked for them. We ain't in the fields anymore. We start controlling things. Then the AI age, Right? We went through the culture age, that's finished. Industrial age, that was what the Civil War is all about. The industrial age, I'm not going into detail. That's all about industrial. And now, AI age. These are our ages. It means we're reviving. That's why they can't control it. Winter people cannot control the spring, and they stuck in the winter. They can't transform. Snowman can't transform anything. What are you going to transform? What can a snowman transform into? He can't. He's going to the winter. The spring just destroys it. You're going to transform it. Okay. Now, see this right here. I talked also about energy mismanagement, and we're going to talk more about this in a minute. Okay. Energy mismanagement. Here, it took a lot of energy to do this. But there's no energy up here in his ears. Because he put all energy out here. If you talk to him, he would guarantee you talk to him, he couldn't tell you what a derivative is. And he don't know. Math is probably very simple. Because he put all his energy right here. He's pretty much just an ape. Oh yeah. You'll see that in a minute. Energy mismanagement. When he arrives, he makes it hereafter. He'll be considered an ape. Look at the gorillas out there. They was part of the human family. They're strong, they're powerful. Share a lot of our DNA. All the animals, all have DNA in them. Yes, this has our DNA in it too. One thing you're going to say, I'm going to explain to you in a minute, then you understand, hopefully. Let me play this right quick, brother, sister, then get to my point.
Flip by a robot. The company is Engine AI. I will show you the video of what this robot can do. It hurts me.
One second, brothers, sisters, 1 second. Thanks. Okay, consider this, brothers and sisters. This is the future they have planned for you, if they have a future plan for you at all. These are called cyborgs. Cyborg is taking human brain, put into a robot. But you have total control of it because you have these electrodes that go into your brain, so it's like a remote control. But the cyborg, right, has all the capabilities of a robot, with the intelligence of a brain that you control, total control. They've been controlling our brains for years. It's the ultimate. Now, bottom line is, and I'm going to explain it a little more. Bottom line is, we moving back to our age. They were created for the winter. We all year round. We don't. Winter's our worst season. It was created to run during the winter. Now, spring is coming in. They winter people. They snowman, whatever. The whole economy, everything's based on snow, ice, and everything else. All it just melts away. Their dollars, all that stuff. All those things under threat right now. They're not just under threat. They evaporate. They say that, like, if you snowman, when he starts seeing melt, started seeing the sun come up, he started making he's under threat. No, he's under destruction. But at that point, he sees threat because he sees starting to melt. He's still alive. He still see, his situation is melting around. So we're under threat. We got to do something to stop this. So he's still in a situation where he can think, do something about it. It's not fatal yet. You just see the signs, this disaster, so he calls it a threat. And so America's taking everybody as a threat right now, because then the whole system is dissolving in the winter, but they're still in a position where they see so to them it's a threat. But we understand, if you understand the angel, it's destruction. No, man, you see rain coming in, not a threat. You see it as a threat because you're still alive, you're still cold, you still, you just blue melting here. You see it from that perspective, but from the spring perspective, no, you just. So they see in the whole world. That's why you got Mr. He's talking about this, because he wants to take the Panama Canal. Everything's a threat. Because America, the dollar, everything. Because they're the winter people, and spring is coming. Nothing they can do about it. They don't know that yet. The only way they can survive, they have to alter the creation. Because we have a biological creation that's subordinate to spring, summer, winter, fall. Robots are not. Robots don't care if it's winter, fall, whatever, they metal. Yeah. The only solution they have, that's why they raise for these robots and things. And cyborgs, because once you merge that brain into the robot, now you're immune to the environment. You're immune to summer, winter, fall, that kind of stuff. Because now your brain, but is enclosed into metal, and it's got a system protected from effects of summer, winter, fall, that kind of stuff. A cyborg. But in their case, they will have control of the remote that tells what to do. And you'll be under their control. Who's control electrodes and all that kind of, who's control that? They will. So you would just be cyborg, total submission. They got to zap you, do something. Electrode near, make you feel bad, they control your emotion, everything. So you that can make you feel real bad, humble you, electrocute you, whatever. They will control that. So therefore, they'll be immune because that's the only thing that the only way they can survive in the future. You can't, it's a biological. I'm trying to get you to understand what's going on in the world today. So that's why they're rushing to get robots. Not only that, but they're making artificial arms and things that can actually touch, feel. They're racing, but they can't tell you. And they want, why are they forcing war? They want a nuclear war. Because nuclear war would destroy all biological life. If it will have any opposition, then only option you have is. So you will submit to being a cyborg or you just die. Then you're a perpetual slave forever. Because once they do that, they will control your mind, everything. They got remote. No control. Total control. They will have the remote. They will control. You will be that. That's what they're planning. And then they don't have to under the threat of consequence, even though consequence still exists. That's what they're planning. That's what you will be. Most do what they tell you to do. They press a button, get a jolt of crack or something. Feel good. You act up. You're in shock or you're in great pain, severe pain. Called time distortion. They had a movie about that, and that this is mathematically correct. They can do this once they establish this. And basically, the movie was that instead of putting people in prison, they take them to a time distortion. They put them in a chair. They put electrodes in here. And so you don't understand how time works as far as your mind is concerned. In here, and so therefore, they would take and put the person like a dream state. But it'd be so significant that it's real. You've had dreams that seem so real. And the point is, and every time it starts. So in other words, because when you have a dream, right, it seems like it lasts a long time. Even you, that's. And the person would go through in prison. They'd form a division in prison. They'd do 20 years in the prison. They'd think they did 20 years in the prison. And there'd be all kinds of pain, and they'd be eating, all this stuff happened to them. That's what they would put in there. But the person only been in maybe 5 minutes in a chair. They come out. They thought they was actually to 20. They would be so, from their point of view, they did 20 years in prison. They'd be so glad to get out of that chair. That's the movie they made, right? Because they were studying the brain. Anyway, I'll move on, bros. I won't go too much detail here. I'm just give you some highlights here. I want to get so much deeper into this. This is your future. They're waiting for you. This is not going to happen. They got destroyed by life because it's biological. They're telling you. They're telling you the biological system is against them. They're telling you that. Oh, global warming. They can't come out and tell you directly. They're talking above your head to each other. It destroys the biological system. Because what are they doing? Are they really doing anything? Oh, baby Joe, are they doing anything really to stop it? No. They're building these things that don't have to worry about the biological system. Robots. Cyborg. Because when you know that, you don't need a landscape. You don't need gardens. Because they put electrodes here, and you can they see what you want to see. They already show you, like they give you little hints in these movies where you don't have to have an intimate experience with anybody. Just turn on electrode, and you feel like you have this. I told you about that prison thing. You experience a total intimate relationship that's every bit as real as it can be, as real as the real thing. That'd be your reward. Like what Django said, you got the reward for killing another one. That'd be your reward for, hey, look at it. I'm going to give you this experience. And for your point of view, to be every bit as real as the real thing, even better. This is what they're working on. They know it's the only option they have to move into the future, because they cannot move into the future as a biological system. And so, yes, I mean, plus other things, right? Let's move on. The future. It's not going to happen. Mama's going to intervene. Through Mom's here. That's their plan. They plan and we plan. On something else. I'm trying to bring all this together. Then you got the 5 pillars here. That 5 pillars are for your protection. That's what they are. Protection. Energy management. To manage energy so you're not a victim of energy, you profit from it, benefit from it. Those are. But the angel is the mind you need for this time. Now you can protect yourself and be ignorant and stupid. But the angel, the mind, you need the mind for the time to be successful during this time. Okay? Like having a bulletproof car with no engine, right? So it can't hit you, but you ain't going anywhere either. Is the mind for this time, period of time. Then it will be of no use. This period of time, establish us a home. Yes, home, and establish our kingdom. Ancient of days, that kingdom established and passed to Master Prophet Muhammad. Then that's the angel's true. Angel doesn't go past that. It doesn't pass that. New Jerusalem, they say it was a mother planet, has nothing to do. Then you get another book for next season. Constant changing. One's the mind. This is the mind. Appeals to your protection. Understand that. Okay, let's get to it now. Now you might understand this picture. I talked about this in the past, this is an old picture. Now I got that word there. Kadimun. Kadimun. He's probably pronounced the Arabic word, serpent. Okay, I'm going to get to my subject here, brother and sister. Pay close attention. There's no being has a whole gene set from A to Z. A to Z, all turned on. We need all those genes turned on to withstand the immense pressure, totally compressed universe. Yeah, all those genes turn on. Every one. Because as the universe starts going under this tension means, right, the pressure is getting lower and lower and lower because you're pulling things, stretching things out, right? Energy is spreading out. So in the universe in tension mode, put that away. Tension pulls things apart. So as the universe starts expanding, right? Okay. As Elijah Muhammad said, dissatisfaction brings about change. So when you pull something, you put it on tension, it's satisfying. Then it breaks, rubber band breaks, and then everybody's satisfied now. But you know, 2 parts now. You know, dissatisfaction. They start pulling again, satisfaction rise again, then you're in 4 parts. So forth, so on, right? But you keep putting smaller parts, right? But now each part is satisfied. It's not until you start pulling again. That's the basic idea how the creation works. Creation matrix. So at first, the tension is light, so you only put a small part of a bad poop. That's the microbes and stuff. So we took a gene set, a whole gene set, and removed from everything from A to Y. Remove that. Just got Z. That's the smallest one. So now it's independent. Like the Quran says, you have your back now. It does, because that visual being had all those turn on. He had, the individual had to take and all the things that require survive as a creation was turned on. So all the things that had to be, because everything we need to survive, that one being was able to do. As Christ says, from one being came all life. And all life was that one being. It's genes. So as attention, okay, so we break a piece part smaller, and then we turn this piece like a microbe. It don't have A to Y. That's all I got. That's just got Z. And then we still have A to Z, but we turn off Z because now we have a Z out there that's doing that for us. We still have it. We just turn it off. But the devils tell you that you have a lot of genes, but they all turn off. They say, the genes you got all turned off. That we only have a few of our genes turned off. That's because when you look out there in the creation, you see our genes all out there. So they're doing the job. We don't need to do it anymore. We don't get rid of the gene, we just turn it off. So we have all those things that we do that to, they are servants. Microbes, they are servants. They do certain things. The bees, they do certain things for us. They create. We don't have to make honey anymore. The bees do it for us. The fish, they do what they do for us. They all are servants. They serve to create a biological system. Our biological system is servant to us. Serves our needs. Okay? So we're doing that. Now we have another category where we got the original being. Those came. So we have another called angels. Right? Okay. They're the ones that serve the gods. The tribe of Shabbat was a god tribe, but also had angels. So part of it was gods, part of it was angels. Everything else was angels. Else was angels. All tribe were angels. The tribe of Shabbat had gods and angels. Everybody was just angels. So humans, so we had that thing, right? Had that to serve the gods. But all the bees and trees and all that stuff, they serve us too. Like trees serve us because we breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide, and trees breathe in carbon dioxide and oxygen. They all serve us. But a little piece at a time. First that, then get more complicated. So, plant life, insects, reptiles, mammals. That gets more complex. We lived in the sea for a long time before we moved onto the land. It's all together. Sea life is lower level than mammals. Lived in the sea for long. And we had all those attributes. Then we turn those things off, and now we have fish that only don't have above aptitude only had an aptitude from them down, or whatever, how restricted it. Pay close attention, bro. So I'm going to rush all the way down to where we are now. So we get down to the point of energy deprivation. Okay? At that point, when the tension, remember the tension gets greater and greater and greater, so more complex these come out of us, we turn it off. More complex, and the tension is the maximum at the energy deprivation. So we bring out the most complex being, that's mankind. That's why I say they had a form of us without the substance. We bring them out. That's the final step of the creation. They're servants too. Adam's a servant. They're the most complex servant, and they're between beast and man. That's why I refer to as beast, also mankind. They're between. They're between. They're servants. It's Adam. Follow me closely here. I'm trying to talk slowly. Let's back up. Let's go back up to male and female, so gender. That was a separation, right? In other words, we separated two beings. Tension. Was it Muhammad? If you understand what he said, he was saying the satisfaction was maximum at that point. That was tension. The only way to solve it was. But he didn't say. He just said the moon. He didn't talk about gender separation. He didn't explain it that way. All about that subject. But that's what happened. Because we know that when it happened, the female, he's connected to the moon. That cycle's fully connected to the moon. Because that was all about. So to leave the tension, we separated the being into two, male and female. Now we do this. It was, remember, at that point, the beings that was present resisted that. Muhammad said, "How you do with gender?" He just said, they resist. He said, he characterized it as a language issue. But you can deal with that now. I'm not going to go into that. So they resisted. Said, no, we want to continue speaking that old language. No, you guys, no. They resisted. In other words, these people saying, we want to stay like we were. We want to stay hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite is a being that's both genders. We stay hermaphrodites. We don't want to separate into two. Because if we separate into two, what's going to happen to us? And the one's going to be stronger than us. One will be more beautiful than us. We're going to separate two. We'll separate strength and beauty. So the new one be more beautiful than us, and the other one be stronger than us. Anyway, they had their reasons. They resisted. But this had to happen because, I said, the universe, no matter what they did, they couldn't stop it because the universe continues to expand. It took a process I've defined in the past, right, to make that happen, right? But no homosexual activity, that kind of crap going on. I mean, I can explain it in the math, the science of it, but I've explained the past. I want to get to the main point. I took place. The point you need to understand here is that once that happened, there was no need for the previous version, because first of all, the previous version would still be under stress. It still be dissatisfied because if you put someone that, when you put someone that tension, you pull it, right? Once it breaks, the tension, but if it resists and you pull it and it resists, then tension just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds on it. If it fits in, and you got two parts, but satisfied. If you keep trying to hold on to one, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse because you keep pulling it. And yet all the stress you're trying to maintain. So they understand that concept. So they were wiped out. They're no longer around anymore. You see exceptions every now and then they pop up, and that's because of, well, I'm move on. I don't want to get sidetracked here. Understand that. Get rid of them. Same thing. Once we took and said, okay, it's time to make this separation. B's, and the B's is like from M to Z or something, right? Okay. So the B out there, the B doesn't have A to M, but they got N to Z. What them that's going. It's not turned off. It's going. They don't have it. They can't come back. Can't turn it back on. But we still have it. We should turn into Z off. So now you got the compatible. You got A to Z. Only thing is, A to M is turned on here. Only N to Z is turned on here. It's on. And now they work together. There's the two parts. Say it again. You got A to Z, but N to Z, that's all it is, N to Z. You got A to, it's active, to M, so now you got consistency. But they still have, it's just turned off. So now the biological system still works, there's two parts. Same thing with the male and female. So, that's with the male and the female, right? To use those terms, we're going to do that anyway. So the homomorphic, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. So even if they did exist, right, tension would be so. There'd be no more trouble. Say when the B and everything, so now you got the B out there, turn it off. So now the B's out there doing this thing, right? Now you still got the people that still, you got the A, right? But you still got people out there that still they got the whole thing from A to Z, and they got all turned on. We don't need them anymore. Because first they have a problem with energy management, and another problem had a problem with tension, because remember the tension is what causes separation, but they refuse to, they resist it, so that means they're going to intense tension, which is going to cause problems in the body, because they resist the separation. Plus, we don't need them anymore because now we got the bees doing this. Because these people, remember, that was part of what they was doing. That's part. They made honey. They did other things too. But the other thing is that remember, when you turn those genes off, and turn the B genes off, right? You just turned off. Now all the energy is just towards A to M. So now you improve that side. Like I said, you did beauty. Now the male became more strong because now all that energy went to the strength side. And the female became more beautiful because that energy went to the beauty side. Same thing here. So now you got more energy on that side that the genes just turned on. But energy is going to those. And the B is just getting energy what B needs. We said, move on with them, get the fish, whatever. Same thing, same concept. Then the people that refuse to, right? They want to hold on to the fish thing when that separation comes about. Well, they're not around anymore because they can't compete with the new creation. That's what the man was saying. That's what they were saying. The hermaphrodites said, we can't compete with this new creation because they're stronger than us. We're beautiful and we're strong, but they got all their energies for strength. That means they'll be stronger than us. And they've been more beautiful. Let's go. Their energy just for beauty. So we can't compete with them. Either if we go against them, they destroy us. And in the case of they resist, then the war takes place, and they're wiped out. Because you don't see them anymore. You don't see them. Those creations gone. So we come down to now. We did the same thing. Adam is basically, you don't have A. You got B to Z. You get, we still have A. We have A and B. Everything else turned on. And they have B. That's the simplest way to put it. So what am I getting at? Say we have the angels. Angels, A to Z, A to Z, but they got A and B turned on. Okay, put that away. But the gods, they just got A turned on. So all the angels going towards the brain, A, and the body, right? They're the brain cells. But now the angels, they got energy going to the brain and the body, so it's not as much, it's not as intense. But they still got ability, right? But I've said they can't, but their energy is spread out. I'm just talking in general, bones. Between brain and emotion. In other words, if you got $1,000 and all of it in the brain, then you got $1,000 brain. But if you got $1,000, you got a brain and the body, then you got $500 brain and $500 body. So you can't compete with $1,000. All the energies in the brain. That's the angels. Then you got all the animals, right? That's some Z, some Y, some X, Y, whatever. That's the creation. Well, our servants. And then the angels, they're servants of the gods. But like I said, they're inferior because they had the ability, they had the genes. But because they have both, then they're in submission to gods who just made the brain cells. Then we bring Adam on the scene because of energy deprivation. Adam, you don't have A or B. You have C. A or B has C. Because he's a beast. You got A and B to be called. To be called human. You have to have A and B. At least A and B. C and down for animal kingdom. Have C, but they right on the edge of A and B, on the edge. They have a form, like the gorillas. They have a form, a substance. You got 5 fingers, 5 toes, head. You got some people look like them. You shave your head off, and they're all white. Follow me so far? Okay. So remember, as we move down through history, we make more complex servants, The bees, fish, whatever, they're all servants. Serving our biological system. I said we really is one body. All this is our body. I say body, I said, but they're part of our body too, like you got hair. They're part of our body. All this ecological system is one body. Okay? They all came from us. They're all going to return. They'll return, and then everything will turn everything back on again. As the universe, because the opposite happens. Where everything's pulled apart and everything's pushed back together. We start turning things back on again and getting rid of those things that get rid of bees, because when we understand that. Anyway. We get down here to engine innovation, and we got attention. So we pull out the most complex being. That's it. Most complex being we pull out. Yaku's people. They have form, but not a substance. They from C down. FAB. And so what we say is, okay, remember, they're all servants. All servants, keep that in mind. They service, each service, animals, lions, all they are servants. They fit in our biological system, so they serve a purpose. It was Adam. So now we got, right, angels who are human servants, and all the animals that are servants. We got the gods. Angels are human servants. They still, they humanity, but they're still servants. So what happens? Okay, now we pull this out, and they see now, they're in between it. Mankind is something like man, but they like, let's call them first beast. They're between beast and man. So we say, okay. Remember, this is our creation process, creation metrics. Put all these things out there, because once we start, we're going to finish the creation. Once the creation is finished, now we go into the beauty stage. We start enjoying the creation because we've spent 72 trillion years building this. Now it's time to enjoy it. You pull everything out. Intention mode, so everything's, but now things come back. So now you enjoy what you built. And it's like the energy back, you enjoy it. It gets better and better and better. Now it's the reverse. But you got to, when does the creation finish? Creation finish, made Adam. But we wanted something that can interface between beast and man. That's why they're in the middle. They would be the new servants. Because the angels, we're going to upgrade them to gods. Because they got AB. Now we're going to turn off B. And so they so they're going to be just like the gods. That's our image. And then C, they're going to be the interface between us. They're the new servants now. Not angels. Won't call them angels. That's why I use this word here. Hadimun. Hadimun, brother. Yeah, Hadimun. They'll take the place of angels. Because now they'll do all the stuff that we need. They'll be our servants. Now the creation is complete. Because all the animals, all these things will serve. But now we need an interface between us and the animal. Remember, you got the animal kingdom and you got the human kingdom. But the angels was the one interface between us and the animal kingdom. But they weren't animals. That was our mix. But they're the final creation. The final creation. I say they take captain of all the land. They're the final creation. They're going to take place of angels, but they won't be angels. There won't be any more angels. You're looking at angel. You're looking at, there are no angels anymore after all this. More angels. Because angels have been upgraded to gods. Because now that B has been turned off. See? The B has been turned off. I'm not going to that B situation anymore because that gets back to the she and that kind of stuff. I don't want to talk about that right now. We had two things in the final creation. We wanted to bring out, upgrade the angels to gods, but also separation between the spatial and the analytical. Maybe I need to take that a little bit because that's from Muhammad. You remember the gender? Now you got the analytical. That's from Muhammad. He's a technical marvel, technical God. You got a technical marvel that nobody can understand. But on the other hand, Suleiman, you got a spatial marvel. That was the angel. Nobody can understand, but then you had the angels. Upgrade angels up to God. That's the part you need to focus on, bro. I have to, like I say, get closer and closer and closer, and every day, days go by, I reveal more. Right now, where you are right now, either you upgrade to God, or you resisting. What happened to those resisting or upgrade? Sure. That means you got to get out of the emotional mode into here. That's the angel. That script you have to. The only way you're going to do that, you have to transform. Otherwise, you're going to be gone. No place for you in the hereafter. That's the way the creation works, brothers and sisters. If you make it hereafter, be Mr. Hulk I showed you earlier, you'll be considered a beast. Everlasting shame and appallment for some. But that's what they washed their robes in blood of the Lamb. What's the 2 books? To rise that level. You have to transform to here. You don't want to do that. Let's talk about a little more a different way. See, for 500 years, you were angels. That was right there in the story about the bliss. Angels didn't know a damn thing. They submit. Sunniism is all about submission. It's not about thinking. It's about submission. Angel. Submission. Then they didn't want to do that. Thinking. 5 pillars. It's not about thinking either. It's about protection. Angel is about thinking. So in order for us to move, the devils, right? Remember, see now, but they're a beast that speaks. That means they're a thinking beast. And we let them do our thinking for us, even though it's low grade, for the last 5 years. Because like I try to explain to you, when you put something under pressure, you have to define the type of pressure you put on. Because you put diamonds under coal under pressure, that means it's going to turn to diamond. It has to be a special kind of pressure. But they make a thing called, I forget what they call it. It's a fake diamond. Cozy, I think they call it. Well, they put that under pressure. They put it on like a hydraulic press. And they put enough pressure and it turn it, but it's not a real similar. It's not cozy, I believe. So that was part of the reason of Holocaust, because that's what Adam was taught to think. They taught him all your names. And I tell you, most stuff you have no understand what they're saying. I say is much deeper than you realize. So Adam to think, because that's the kind of pressure they want to put you on to move you into thinking mode. Because all right around you is about thinking. Everything around you right now is about thinking. Think your way past. That's why they with Farrakhan, because they want to think. Farrakhan's not a thinker, he's a demon. And they don't want to think. That's why they with him. If they was thinking, you say, if you think, if you have a thought in your mind, you would say, there's no way in the world. If they were thinking, they would have been with that man, that demon. Because They're used to being angels. The other people do it thinking for them. Let me try Adam the names, and the angels didn't know. He taught Adam how to think. The angels didn't. So you put us under Adam. That's kind of pressure that was under. The only way you overcome Adam is through this, not mostly. It's just because if you see the Haitians, they attacked mostly emotionally. It was emotional attack. Where they anywhere here? No. Submit to that pressure. Don't fight, because that would be an emotional response. You know? If you submit, that'd be a mental response. Emotional response that's why you put under pressure of thinking. That's the kind of pressure you need to be under so you can transform into a thinker. Because you have to outthink Adam. Can't beat him emotionally. You got to outthink him. That's why Elijah Muhammad said we would stay under Yahuwah's control until a God came to outthink him, smarter, wiser. You have to outthink these devils. And you're not doing that because you're still letting these devils outthink you. That means you're not going to make it. That's why the thing is that's why Master Muhammad is getting ready to do what he's doing, because he's going to cut the devils off. So you can't depend on that thinking anymore. You're going to have to think to get through the tribulation. You're going to have to think. If you don't, you're not going to make it. That's how you transform into gods. The A class. Now you AB. You didn't have A, we couldn't transform. You have to have A to transform. A, and then you turn off B. Then you're gods. That B is a spirit. I don't want to go. I don't want to divert that B, because that B, that's a story all by itself. Supposed to be in the B, but I don't want to. I want to get to you to understand, because we're talking about right now. We're talking about Muhammad's people in that B stuff. We're talking about who's going through tribulation, not going through that tribulation. You are. People going through it. You don't. I told you, it's a mind war. See, all this stuff comes together, brothers and sisters. You don't outthink these devils, right? Then you ain't going to make it. Because right now, they're outthinking you. Got a couple of notes here. I'm going to make this clear, and I told you, you need to pay attention to this one. If you never pay attention to it, because I'm bringing all the stuff together. That's the new creation. You part over and you resist. You ain't going to make it. Be crushed. Those that stand in the way, broken, anyway, it stops on a crush. Followers of Farrakhan, non-thinkers. They were thinking they wouldn't be following them. But being here with Adam, all this makes you think. You have to think the devils. They're thinking. They're thinking before. They didn't have all this technology and everything else before. They was giving us information. It was made to think. But that's kind of pressure they want us to transfer us to the God. Thinkers. If you can't handle this message, if you can, people, all those clowns out there, Ben X, all they're gone. And like right now, you're a slave to ideology. You're a slave to their thinking. And what's the level of their thinking? You know what their level of thinking is? Look at the sealed Bible. That's their level of thinking. And you're slave to it. You think they Adam and Jesus and all this stuff they're telling you in the church, you're still on their slaves. You're still slave, mental slave. That means they're outthinking you. Because he look and say, "What the hell can these people? The history they got, raped us, beat us, murdered us, all this stuff, and then you fist bump them. Means they're outthinking you." It was a mind war. Outthinking you. No way in the world. That's why you come together. Your mind, you have to get your mind. You got their mind. That means if you have their mind, it means outthinking you. Because in your mind is on the scene now, but you still on their page. That means you resisting upgrade. Resisting it. That means you're going to perish. That's the new creation. New creation is right there. They're going to be this. They won't call them angels. They're going to be the new angels. They're going to be our servants. I mean, I bring all these things together to be our servant. Interface between us and the beast. They control the beast. They do our cooking and everything for us. But we depend on their ecological system, right? So they'll control it for us. We can tell them what we need. We can't go out and tell the gorillas, "Hey, gorilla, no, we need this." They do it. Total submission. Explain that too, how they only own themselves. All this, I'm telling you, the wisdom of how we put this together is beautiful. The reason why you got to go to tribulation, because you didn't start the upgrade when Elijah was here. And that's why you got it, because you're still AB. All of you. You're still AB. Now you got to go to tribulation, turn that B off, so now all A. God's. All your energy be directed here. And the servants, they'll do all that other stuff, the emotional stuff and all that stuff. Take care of all of that. Manual stuff, the physical stuff. Them. And you be the gods. Told and telling. And you can tell them, go take care of the fish, whatever. There's no beast that you can talk to like that. It means you got to go do it. They won't speak our language. We have to speak. There'll be a special language they'll speak. They can't speak A. They only can speak C. Maybe a little bitty B. They can't speak A. So we have to speak their language. Like gorillas can't speak. They can speak on their level. Birds speak. They communicate with each other. But we can speak to them on their level. Okay, you need to do this. You need to divert this river. And they communicate with the animals. They are our servants. That's the final creation. So now we enjoy the creation now. And we paradise. Now we spend all our time here, enjoying what we built. And all the manual stuff, we just concentrate on perfecting ourselves, enjoying the beauty and everything that the men enjoying the female, the women enjoying the males. And we join the most because the female is going to be our heaven. I'm making this clear enough for you, brothers and sisters. An upgrade. None of you upgrading. I'm 30 years back. No one's going to upgrade. I saw a little time. Sister, she broke. I was shocked. Nothing else. The spark was there. Just didn't ignite. The spark, sometimes you spark, it has to, if it doesn't ignite, then the spark just goes out. Spark was there, so we know the spark is there. It is there. It's got to ignite. Don't do it. You're going to perish. Like the morphidites, they ain't around. You know, people that make honey, they ain't around anymore. Bees do that. We won't need you around anymore because we got Hadimon. I don't. They're not angels. They do all that stuff, so we don't need you for that anymore. We don't need angels anymore. We don't need angels anymore because they're our servants now. I don't know if you understand that, brothers and sisters. That's the way it is. Now the creation, that's why is it done? The creation is finished. All it is now is that the upgrade. The upgrade's all finished now. Like, you finished building the house right, now you got to put the paint, all that stuff on it, right? House been built. Everything's in place. You got to upgrade. You got to move in. House built now. You got to move in. Can't stay outside, keep looking at it. Got to move in. You got to be able to run that house. Well, oh man, I don't know how to do this. What the hell are you in the house for? Do this sophisticated house, and you don't know how to operate. You can't. It's time to move into the house. Because the house is here. You ain't there. None of you. So that's the last move that you're going to get from Master Muhammad's going to cut off. They're doing your thinking for you. Farrakhan, he ain't going to do a goddamn thing. Who's going to control the 6 states he's talking about? Who's going to run electricity? Who's going to run all this stuff? No one. But they ask the devils to do it because he prepares people to do it. That's why there's a bunch anyway. The world coming in is here. The angel gives you the taste of it because you want to taste it for the full meal because that's what you need to transform. And your inspiration will be the Holocaust. Not the Holocaust, the tribulation. That's what weight you have to lift. All here. Angels all, nobody could do it. Man, major transformation. He said, okay, remark. And then he gave man's mind back, said, you got to go back and do that same thing I did for you. You got to go out and do the rest of those people. Wash their robes, the blood of the Lamb. Lamb was those 2 books. And the angel, so still angel. Kind of like a mercy in a way, because you don't have to have no angel, you just got to have them. I'll be like those virgins, right? Be like those virgins. Remember they went to sleep? Some virgins took extra oil. I ain't taking no chances. The other went to sleep when they woke up. Was too. Read the story. I think I'm gonna leave it there, bro. Says I don't know if you get not. If you ain't pay attention to any meditation, you better pay attention to this one. Good. I was going to try to bring all this stuff together for you. Go home. We are right now. It's just remind you. Have come to send fire on the earth, and will I ever be already kindled? He's impatient. He says, that whole thing about Jonah, man, come on, what you waiting for, Master Farah Muhammad? I wish it already kindled. I wish it already happened. See, that's the anxiety that Suleiman had to go through because he was so angry about it. He wanted to die. He had, first of all, the whole thing is about his credibility. Because he told us to say something that's not going to happen. And everybody look at him and says, we people need to have faith, need to be totally committed, right? Totally have faith and totally trust in him. And then he's saying something that ain't right. And how would they have, at a time when they really need to have faith, I would have faith in him. I already said, really, John really got angry about it. Rightly so. Too angry. But have a baptism, be baptized with how I am straightened. He's going through a whole lot here. He had to be baptized. You have to make sure he's there. And straight, that means everything, nothing going right for him. When you're straight, that means everything's going wrong for you. I tell you, neighbor, suppose you think I come to give peace on earth? No. So I tell you what the season would be like when this is going on. Right? But I bring division. From henceforth, there'll be 5 against 1 house, 5 in 1 house divided against 3. No, there'll be 5 in 1 house divided, 3 against 2. 2 against 2. I explain that in your key what they're talking about. Father should be divided against the son against the. Now, when you read this, 6 months ago, no one, I told you, I've been telling you, no one thought that there would be friction between America and Europe. No one saw that one coming. No one, except me. I told you. And they actually ended up a war. America actually ended up a war with Europe and Russia together. All of a sudden, Russia and America and Britain, he's trying to make peace with Russia. It's not going to happen. It's going to backfire on him because it's time to remember that winter math doesn't work anymore. Right now, if he doesn't make peace, think about it. If he's not able to accomplish a peace with Russia, which he's not able to, where is he at now? Now he's got to fight both Russia and Europe because he's already alienated Europe. Europe ain't going to help him. You know what I'm saying? I told you that's what happened. He's going to be in a fight against Europe and Russia. You see it unfolding before your eyes. Can't say I didn't tell you because it's out there. I know they deplatformed, but it's still on the old, new platform. There's one now. It's there. Been for years. That's where we are right now. Britain and America, Britain and Europe is going to divide. It did. Brexit. That's what happened. 2 years ago. For years. It says 2 against 3 and 3 against 2. And I'm not going, I detail this, I'm not. When you see here, right here, what they talk about right here is mother, father, daughter, son, and daughter. That's the 5. Then 3 against 2, these 3 against me, these 2 against these. And right now you see what? A lot of animosity. In fact, it's going to get much worse. All this animosity now between these blacks out here with demons, Trump. Oh, they hating Trump. That's what it says. Be a conflict between them and America. Building every day. It'd be 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. What does I have here, bro? It says now. Nation born today, when it's talking about nation born today, this is the war that's about to take place in the Middle East. So right now, this is the format. This is not the structure. This would be the structure once Syria and Iran revived. Syria is revived, and they take control of the Middle East again. America and Britain's kicked out. Bosses. That happens, right? This happens. Attack us. But that's the way of saying, well, those who are pregnant, they're pregnant with us. We're under them. That's what it's talking about here. So in other words, as soon as she conceived, she was delivered or whatever. That means as soon as this happened, that's what start. That's when we're going to be born. This nation's going to go together. That's what it's talking. What's talking about. You're born today. Everybody's born today, ain't it? That's not what. You're pregnant with us. Okay, I'm just going to let this run, brothers and sisters. I did everything I need to leave. Go ahead and let this run. Let me make sure. I see. hope you understand, brother. I said, I don't know if I need you. But reduction it. Well, I try to make it, I told you, I make it clear and clear and clear. And I never talk about it like I'm talking about it now. That's the danger. Upgrade, you're crushed. The more ABs, more angels. If they're going to upgrade the angels to gods, that means there won't be no angels. That goes without saying, doesn't it? Upgrade. None of you is upgraded. That's why you have to go through tribulation. Can't fake it. Can't fake being a male. Nowadays, you can fake anything, right? But when they had the gender separation, you couldn't fake being a male. Usually the male or female. You made the transition or you didn't. Because they make transition, orthodox, they're gone. Out. Need angels anymore. Got servants now to do this. Perfect. Interface between us and the animals. Need angels anymore. Because angels be problematic anyway, because remember, they have to think with creation. You understand, brothers? Also, the same thing, right? Ambidextrous minds. That's why we got Master Muhammad. He's a technical mind. Two minds together here. We got an ambidextrous line here. What does that mean? All the time. Spatial, the analytical. Next level. Let me speak a little bit about it. Ambidextrous, as far as both sides of the brain, but they find the brain though. Let me get this straight. Too complicated, right? Okay. Angel upgrade to A. A has two sides to it. Right? Analytical and technical. So we got the analytical, that's on top. We got a spatial on top, analytical second. Next one, they still A. It's got A and B both. I'll speak to that. That situation we allow happen for the next 6,000 years. That's why Master Muhammad, I told you about this. May God, I'll return back to, we allow that to happen because we're still under the season of energy deprivation, 12,000 year cycle. We're coming out of it now. So I can't, if I leave it out there, boys, somebody's on my back. Let me say that. I said, I explained. I said, it's like a you. At the bottom, energy deprivation, agriculturalness will come back out. There's 12,000, there's 12,000, but we would not allow them to rule for the next 6,000 years because there's just a problem. So we get to Master Muhammad, the political side. And then it referred back to a spatial side. Years back to us. So you got on the ark, all has to be A. Be A. I said, what about well, Arabs down there, well, in down there, the ones had to upgrade during the tribulation. Oh boy. Anyway, all had to be A. Top is A spatial, A technical, second level, A technical and spatial, but still A. Go down to NOI, right? A. Are they atypical and racial, or just A? I ain't gonna get to that. Points are all A. And levels of A, but they're all A. Everybody else drown. You make it. You say, well, I thought, no, see, I'm just trying to explain to you the mental level there. You, A, B, you gone. The bees ain't gonna be drowned. Dogs ain't being drowned. They go off. Those that are servants, the ever. And it came us between and peace. Sam Brown says, I'm gonna let this run. It's out. Feel free to ask questions if you will. That's the bottom line. It's not going to talk about purging. But all these days, I'm trying to bring all this together, bro. Now, final creation, greater gods, angels and servants, and beasts and men, and these beasts and the gods. Creation's finished. Now it's time to sit for the creation. You won't be sitting back. You'll be energy. You'll be laying back, drinking pina coladas, bro. Says, no, you're going to pour energy you ever thought of. You'll stay useful all your life. You're immortal. Keep upgrading every time the universe contracts. Keep upgrading because eventually, remember, we got to turn all those genes back on. Back on eventually. So you keep upgrading, getting better and better and better. That's the way it really works. You're immortal. You make it, you're immortal. That's if your seed make it, because when we can bring you back together, it's got the 4 birds. You got to be one of those part of one of those birds. Otherwise, you just can't break them out of thin air. So if your seed make it, then we got something to work with. If your seed perishes, then you perish too. Because right now, you're the treasure chest of your family. If moms and dad didn't make it, unless they're some wicked people, you got them. Got your mom, I got your dad. You don't understand, bro. Says, with this power, what's going to happen? That's why I said, no one can understand, the heart can mind, because it's so powerful what's about to happen here. You're the treasure chest of your family, your mom, your dad. You don't make it, they don't make it. I'm going to let this run, bro. Okay, give me I have to send automatic, bro. This is a second here. Okay. Okay, bro. This doesn't have capability to run like that, so I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna let this run, bro. Okay, I forgot something.